The night started like any other late show taping. Jimmy Kimmel Live, bright lights, laughs, and a high-profile guest, Vice President Kamala Harris. She walked out smiling, waving to the crowd. There was polite applause, some cheers. The energy? Professional, controlled, until it wasn't. For the first 5 minutes, it was routine. They joked about airline delays, awkward Zoom calls, and Kamala's infamous cackle. But then, Kimmel leaned forward. Madam Vice President, I gotta ask, is Joe Biden still calling the shots, or is someone else running things now? The audience laughed, but nervously. Kamala's smile tightened. I'm proud to serve this administration, Jimmy. That's not a serious question. Kimmel didn't flinch. But it's what people are wondering. I mean, your approval ratings are lower than airline peanuts, and yet here you are, talking about broadband access. Kamala raised an eyebrow. Wow, that's not just disrespectful, it's lazy. The audience fell into stunned silence. Kimmel, trying to regain footing, smirked. Just asking the questions your press team won't let through. Kamala shook her head, muttering, "This is why people don't trust the media." And just like that, the tone shifted from light-hearted to volatile. The vice president wasn't here to play games, and the crowd could feel it. The tension was no longer subtle. Jimmy Kimmel leaned into the discomfort. Kamala Harris leaned out of it. "You come out here with your ratings jokes and tabloid sound bites," she said, "but the real work happens when the cameras are off." Kimmel replied without skipping a beat. "Right, off camera and off the grid, like the border crisis?" The crowd gasped. Kamala's jaw clenched. "Is this comedy or campaign season? Because you're sounding more like a Fox News host than a late-night one." That line hit hard. Some in the audience clapped, others booed. Kimmel raised his hands. "I'm just asking what people at home are yelling at their TVs." Kamala shook her head, visibly fed up. "And that's the problem. You're not trying to inform, you're trying to go viral." Kimmel fired back. "Well, you walked in here with talking points." "I figured I'd ask something real." Kamala leaned forward. "You want real? Try doing your homework before pretending to be a journalist." Boom. Silence. Even the band didn't dare play a cue. Then came the moment no one expected. Kamala removed her mic, set it on the armrest, and stood up. "You don't deserve my answers." She turned, stepped off the stage, and left Kimmel, speechless. The feed cut abruptly to commercial. But the damage? Already done. The moment Kamala walked off stage, the studio froze. No outro music, no punchline, just silence, and a blinking red camera light that said, "Still rolling." Producers scrambled. Audience members whispered. And Jimmy Kimmel? He sat back in his chair, stunned, and slightly amused. "Well," he said, looking dead into the camera, "guess I'm not invited to the next White House Christmas party." Nervous laughter, then commercial. But backstage? It wasn't over. Within 30 minutes, someone leaked a phone clip from the studio hallway, blurry but real. Kamala, surrounded by aides, visibly angry, saying, "I came here in good faith. He blindsided me with garbage polling and internet trash." A voice, possibly a staffer, responded off camera. "He changed the pre-interview. None of that was approved." The clip was 19 seconds long, but that was all the internet needed. By sunrise, it had hit 12 million views. Kimmel vs. Kamala. Walk-off. Disrespect on late night. All trending worldwide. The internet exploded. Kimmel ambushed her. Kamala couldn't handle a real question. This is why no one trusts media or our politicians. She snapped, And honestly, I don't blame her. Even late-night rivals like Colbert and Fallon were silent. No jokes, just tension. The White House issued a brief statement. The vice president stands by her comments and expects good faith discussions, not partisan stunts. But the damage had already gone viral, and both sides of America were foaming at the mouth. By the next day, the walk-off wasn't just a trending topic, it was a media battlefield. CNN called it a rare and raw moment of political defiance. Fox News called it proof that Kamala Harris can't answer a single unscripted question. Cable panels debated it in split screens. Pundits were yelling. The clip was played on loop, slowed down, remixed, captioned, and cut into memes within hours. Late-night Twitter had a field day. She walked out like it was a press conference at the DMV. Kimmel finally did what most reporters won't. Kamala's face when he asked about Biden's brain was priceless. But behind the scenes, it was worse. An internal memo from the vice president's comms team leaked that same evening. The subject line, "Do not respond to Kimmel clip." One line inside read, "No interviews without pre-approved scripts, effective immediately." That only added fuel to the fire. Conservatives mocked it. Progressives defended her. And swing voters? They weren't sure what they had just watched, an ambush or an unraveling. Meanwhile, Jimmy Kimmel opened his next show with a smirk. "I had a guest walk out on me last night, not the first time, but definitely the first vice president." The crowd laughed, but the message was clear. This wasn't over, because the next day, a second backstage video leaked, and what it revealed changed everything. Just when the backlash started to settle, a second leak hit the internet. This time, it wasn't a blurry hallway clip. It was crystal clear. From a green room camera, meant only for internal monitoring. The footage showed Kamala Harris and two aides minutes after walking off stage. She's seen removing her jacket, clearly frustrated. Then she says, "I should have canceled this. I knew he'd pull something like this." An aide responds, "We told them no approval rating or Biden questions." They agreed. Kamala sits, exhales deeply, and mutters, "They want the viral moment. Fine. Let them have it." The clip was 43 seconds long, and it hit the internet like a grenade. Now, the conversation wasn't about a meltdown. It was about manipulation. Did Jimmy Kimmel break protocol? Did Kamala walk out because she was ambushed, or because she couldn't pivot? Even prominent Democrats started asking questions. Some blame Kimmel for violating trust. Others blame Kamala for being unprepared under pressure. But voters? They were the most vocal. If she can't handle Kimmel, how's she going to handle Putin? She stood her ground. That wasn't weakness. That was principle. This was theater, all of it. By the end of the week, the clip had 42 million views. Late-night TV had its most watched moment in 3 years, and Kamala Harris's team canceled all media appearances for the month. Kimmel closed the week with a wink. "Well, I didn't expect to break the internet with infrastructure talk, but hey, always happy to help democracy express itself." One thing was clear. It wasn't just a walk-off. It was a televised collision course between politics and entertainment. And no one walked away clean. The pressure wasn't just on Kamala anymore. Now, the entire administration was feeling the heat. Reporters flooded the next White House press briefing with one question. Was the vice president ambushed, or did she choke? The press secretary deflected. "We're focused on the issues that matter to Americans, not late-night show drama." But the story kept growing. Insider sources revealed that President Biden was furious about the incident, not because of the interview, but because it distracted from a major policy rollout. One source claimed he said, "We just gave working families a tax credit, and the headlines are about Jimmy Damn Kimmel." Kamala's approval rating, already fragile, dipped another 6 points in 72 hours. Even Democrat strategists started whispering off the record. She was supposed to be the one who could humanize the administration. Now, she looks unapproachable. And the right? They doubled down, calling her walk-off the new Hillary 2.0 meltdown. But Kimmel wasn't untouchable. A staffer leak from ABC hit Reddit, claiming that producers intentionally withheld updated segment questions from the VP's team. They knew she'd snap. Jimmy said, "This is the only way we'll get a moment people care about." The internet exploded again. Hashtags flipped. Gas Kimmel setup. Your late-night ethics. Scripted ambush media watchdogs started investigating. ABC's publicist denied any wrongdoing. But the damage was done. Even some of Kimmel's own fans started turning on him. This isn't journalism. It's bait. She came to talk policy. He came to dunk for ratings. A Change.org petition to ban politicians from late-night shows gained 50,000 signatures in one day. And behind the scenes, Kimmel's legal team went into full damage control mode. Then, out of nowhere, Kamala Harris reappeared. Not on CNN, not on MSNBC, on YouTube. A surprise interview, filmed in a minimalist studio, with no audience, no pre-roll, just her, one chair, one camera, and her opening words. "They wanted me to play along, smile, keep quiet, but I'm done pretending everything's fine when it's not." The clip dropped without warning and racked up 9 million views in 36 hours. She didn't just defend herself. She called out late-night TV, corporate media, and what she called manufactured outrage culture. "I didn't walk off because I was weak. I walked off because I've had enough of being interrupted, misquoted, and packaged into a meme." The reaction? Explosive. Some called it her redemption arc. Others saw it as damage control. But one thing was certain: she wasn't backing down. And if this was all staged, it may have been the most effective political drama of the decade. Just when it felt like the dust had settled, another leak emerged. This time, not a video, not a backstage clip, but a PDF file anonymously uploaded to a political subforum. Its title? WHSP-KH-interview-preview.doc. Inside, a bullet point rundown of agreed topics between Jimmy Kimmel's producers and Kamala's communications team. The most damning part? Line 7. No questions about border approval ratings or Biden's mental fitness. And just below it, producer override, add question who's really running the White House? That one line broke the internet. Again. Conspiracy threads lit up. So they planned to embarrass her? Was this just media manipulation dressed up as comedy? Was she set up? Or was she in on it the whole time? Theories spiraled. Was the walk-off staged to reboot her image? Was the file planted to take down Kimmel? Or was someone from inside trying to sabotage both of them? Even mainstream journalists didn't know what to make of it. Some said it was fake. Others said the formatting matched real internal docs from ABC. But the final line of the file was the most haunting. "If she walks, we win." Now, Nobody knew who to believe. But everyone knew one thing. This story wasn't over.